Hello, I want to talk to you tonight actually. If you're wondering why it's a bit dark, it's a Link night production. I'm just kidding. If you're there, Link, g'day mate. But I do want to talk to people about something that I see not as a problem, but just a matter of fact. And that is misleading and contradictory behaviour. What I mean by that? Well, you get people in life and you see them all the time, in real life. I was in the city just a couple of days ago and there were some people definitely down on their luck and they were walking around asking for people to, have you got a spare couple of dollars? And they were getting some money here and there. These people live that lifestyle, and some of these people do not want to be in a home or a house or anything like that. That's their lifestyle. And do I think that is wrong? Not really. They probably get by doing exactly what they do. So they are not misleading you at all. They are broke, and they may be buying alcohol with it or drugs or whatever, but obviously not a great deal of money changes hands every day with these people. Though I do hear some people do make a good living from doing that. But the truth is there are people genuinely down on their luck. And I am one, and so is my wife and other people who step up to the mark and help where you can. And is that wrong? Not at all. I think that's perfectly okay. But there does come a time, and I have an old saying that I've used many times, is that I will help someone up from their knees to their feet, but it's up to them to take the next step. I'm sure you see the analogy there. And it's a good one. There's nothing wrong with helping someone and then having someone help themselves. In real life, these people are not hidden, but you don't see them all the time, but they're there. In reality, there's things happen every day where people ask you for money or a cigarette or whatever they will try and ask you. But generally, they're not that offensive or aggressive, and that's how they live their life. But when you put yourself on film, on YouTube or Vimeo or wherever, there are that many formats these days, and initially you're seen as that type of person. You're down on your luck and people want to help, and they do. But after a while you start to see and realise that a lot of this is deceptive and misleading behaviour. It continues, it does a cycle. YouTube's a classic example. There are many people on there who actually just openly beg for things. But there are a lot of people who are a bit sneaky and they have misleading information. They're very secretive. They only tell you enough to let you know that they're still doing it tough. But really, when you start to think about what happens when people do give to these people over and over again, they actually have a sense of entitlement. They expect you to keep doing it. So in one aspect, it's good that you're helping, don't get me wrong. But in the end, when you realise you've been deceived or you're being given misleading information, a lie, if you like, and then you see it repeat itself over and over again. Well, on YouTube, these people who are deceptive and misleading can in fact just block you. And so you end up being titled a troll, because they don't want to hear from you that you've found out what they're doing is deceptive and misleading on many occasions. But in effect, it's a lesson well learned, because you probably won't do that or help other people on formats like YouTube based on that you know you were deceived. So what does this really mean for the new people? Well, they probably need to make the mistake themselves, because you can't tell people. You know, if you tell people, don't do that because he's deceptive, misleading and lying, and they won't listen to you. They'll have the goodness of their heart and present what they want and when they want to do it. But in the end, the truth is that this deceptive and misleading information that some of these people do, not all of them by the way, but some of these people, it gives them a sense of entitlement. They expect strangers to keep dipping into their wallets and to give them money, goods, or whatever. Now the sad part is that being enabled and feeling that sense of entitlement, when it goes, and it eventually does, the gravy train does stop. Because in time, enough people, like the old saying, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. So if anyone's listening to what I'm saying, keep your money in your pocket. Don't send goods, because what you're doing is creating a monster where they will continue to do exactly what they're doing until that hustle, if you like to call it that, dries up. Are these people on YouTube and Vimeo and other formats any different in real life? No. And the sad part for them is that during their life when they weren't on video, no one has a history of it. But when you see them on these formats like YouTube and Vimeo and others, they actually are creating a history, like a trail. It's so obvious to see what they've done. And a lot of these people are sociopaths, and they're paranoid and they're delusional. They don't see it. They just see it as a format to get another tool to make money. So if you're listening to what I'm saying, I'm asking you to stop donating money and stop giving goods, because in effect you will be helping them. Like I said in my analogy, I have no problem helping someone from their knees to their feet, but I'm not going to walk for them. So by stopping donating and stopping sending goods, you force these people to basically wake up and realize that they have to help themselves. That's about it. And if you have been, I want to thank you for watching. Good night.